you feeling at a loss as to what the next chapter of your life is supposed to be and what it looks like and what you really want to do? If so, stay tuned in, my friend, because I am going to be sharing some super helpful exercises, tips, and techniques on how to gain some clarity so you can start designing the next chapter of your life to be awesome and totally you. Hey, and welcome back, everybody. My name is Farzana, and if you're new to the channel, I'm a life coach and a transformation teacher, and I help people just like you to navigate through the process of change and personal development. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so this is actually part one of a 5-part series where I'm going to be walking you through 5 proven tools, techniques, and exercises to help you figure out and get super clear on what you want to do with the next chapter of your life so that it is filled with more and more of the things that you love to do. So the first thing I would suggest you go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell right now so that you don't miss the other 4 videos that are going to follow this video. So having a week between each of the 5 exercises is so that you have enough time to really reflect with each one of the exercises and actually go deep, right? To marinate on it, to dig a little deeper, to get to know yourself better, to get to know your life better, because you really have to know who you are and where you're at in order to start figuring out where you are going. All right, so regardless of why you find yourself currently without direction, a roadmap, or clarity on the next chapter or the next leg of your journey, let's dive right into today's exercise. So today's exercise is what I like to call the current life situation audit. And so this is going to help you figure out where you are right now and what's working for you and what's not working for you, right? Because when you figure those things out, you can figure out, what's the next part of the journey. So grab your notebook or a piece of paper and a pen and let's get this exercise started, shall we? So I'll give you a few minutes to go ahead and do that. Got your pen, got your paper? All right, awesome. Now on this piece of paper, what I'd like you to do is draw up 2 columns. And one column, you're gonna label it good stuff. And on the other column, you're gonna label it, you guessed it, bad stuff. All right, so in the first column that you have labeled good stuff, you're going to be listing all of the events, activities, situations, hobbies, habits, and people that you feel contributed to your happiness, health, and well-being over this last year. And in the other column that you've listed bad stuff, you're going to be doing the same kind of thing. You're going to be listing all of the events, activities, situations, people, hobbies, and habits that you feel took you off track. The things that depleted your feelings of happiness, health, and well-being, things that took you off track from your goals, right? All right, so now that you have this document with your 2 columns, good stuff, bad stuff, the next thing you're going to want to do is block out a couple of hours when you have some downtime to be able to fill out these 2 columns, because it's going to take a little time, especially if you're doing it for the past 7 months from January to now, depending on when you're watching this video. And I actually like to do this audit every single Sunday. So anyway, so block out a good amount of time. It could be a Sunday afternoon. Give yourself at least 2 to 3 hours, depending again, how much time you're covering, because you want to be able to give yourself the time to really focus, to really reflect, and to really do the exercise properly, right? Because nothing really gets any results unless you put some really good effort into it, right? So if you want to plan the next chapter of your life, you want to take these exercises seriously and take the time to do them properly, right? Take the time to reflect, to dig deep, and to really get some insight. So let's say you picked a Saturday afternoon and you've got yourself all nice and cozy with a nice cup of tea or coffee or water or whatever is your choice, and then you're going to get this 2-column document, and then grab your phone, your computer, your journal or your planner, or grab whatever you usually use for documenting and planning your daily life, because we're going to be doing an audit on everything that you get up to over the year so that we can figure out what's good, what's bad, what's working, and what's not working. All right, super. And so to help you get rolling on that, like, what have you been up to? What are the activities? What are the events? How do you spend your time? What does your day look like? Where do you spend your time, online and offline? Who do you spend time with? Who do you hang out with? Where do you hang out, online and offline? Be sure to check your browser history. Now, you may not have that for the entire year, right? But even like your browser history in just the last week is going to be enough for you to know like how much time you spend on certain apps, certain websites, and so forth. So what we're doing with this exercise is that we are getting really clear as to what is helpful in your life and what is not, what's working and what is not, what brings you happiness and joy and what does not, right? So this is really good insights to help you get a clearer direction of how you're going to shape the next chapter of your life. And we're also getting really clear on how you're spending your most valuable asset, your precious time, the valuable hours of your one precious life, your one precious, potentially fantastic, awesome life, right? Okay, so this is exercise 1 in a 5-part series. So do yourself a favor, if you are really serious about trying to figure out the next leg of your journey, then really take the time to do this exercise properly and wholeheartedly, right? Have fun getting to know yourself a little better. As you do this audit, you're going to get a really clear snapshot on who you are right here, right now. Not who you were 5 years ago, and not who you are wanting to be or aspiring to become, but who you are right now. So you can only close the gap on who you are now and who you aspire to be by getting real with yourself and seeing where you're at, right? So the only real requirement in doing any of these exercises is to get really honest with yourself. Get really real with yourself, because that's the only way you're actually going to make any progress, right? Because it's only when you get real with yourself and know exactly who you are and where you are in this present moment that you can then figure out how to get to where it is that you want to get to, or even just figure out where you want to get to, right? My name is Farzana. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you today, as always, and I'll see you next week when we get into exercise number 2 to gain even more clarity as to how to design the next chapter of your life.